First, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. It's been a great and exciting start to free agency. I know a lot of things we talk about when it comes to free agency. The first part of it is keeping your own talent. So along those lines, really happy that we reached an extension with Kirk. We thought it was really important. It was a win-win solution for the player and the organization. It gives us the opportunity to add other players around him, but also give Kevin and Kirk time to get in the lab and really see how far we can take this scheme go. And we're really excited about that outcome. We also tendered Greg Joseph and re-signed Jordan Berry, two key members of our specialist group. The dynamics of free agency are always pretty interesting to me. Right about the time free agency was about to start, I was bidding on a house, and anybody's looking for a house in Minnesota right now, they know what I'm talking about. And the agent texted me. We didn't get the house, and the agent texted me. One of the great people I've met in Minnesota, right? She's incredibly nice, but she texted me like, "Hey, let this be a learning lesson when multiple people are bidding for something." And I just started laughing. If free agency was about to start, I was like, yeah, that would be an interesting lesson to learn. In economics, we talk about things like the winner's curse, right? And that happens when people don't focus on the right thing. The job isn't to win the bidding war. The job is to win the objective of building a team, the best team you can, with the resources you have at your disposal. Those two ideas can connect at times, not often, but at times they can connect, and you can feel really good about the decision you made. And I sit up here with two of those great decisions standing to the left of me right there. Harrison Phillips and Jordan Hicks are two players that embody the smart, tough, and competitive environment we're trying to build. They're two outstanding men who are committed to the joyful pursuit of excellence, caring about their teammates, and caring about their community. Harrison is somebody we identified very early in the free agency meetings, somebody we really thought would be foundational to our new look 3-4. Disruptive in both phases in the run and pass. Really incredible player, and we're so happy to have him. I walked out. I was on a call, and I saw him right after he signed his contract, and that is a cool moment. Something that I forgot. It was like seeing me 2 months ago. He was overwhelmed with emotion, and you just see he's a big guy, but you also see the little kid inside of him, the 14-year-old that lifted all those weights and did all those sprints and did everything to get him to here. And it was a really cool moment. And I hope he talks about it a little bit with you guys. But special moment, special human. We're really excited to have him here. And Jordan Hicks, we were in the middle of a meeting when we found out, and we literally stopped the meeting. And KO just turns to me and he says, "I didn't like playing against that guy." And sometimes it's really not more difficult than that. He's an incredible player, great in space. And Kevin will talk more about his specific role, but he's somebody we're really happy to have. He brings leadership on and off the field. A great member of the community. Just again, somebody who fits really well into our culture. I'll let Kevin, like I said, I'll let Kevin speak more about that. But first, I want to thank our personnel staff, our coaching staff, our operations staff for all the hard work they put in for these decisions. One of my favorite parts about what we've been building to this point is just watching that collaboration, and it's been exciting. And we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep making moves together as a unit. And yeah, that's really where we are right now. I'm speaking next week a little bit more about and we'll get more in detail about our broader plans, but. For now, let Kevin get up here and talk a little bit about these guys.
Obviously, a really exciting day for me to be able to come down and introduce these next two players. You go into a process like this, you come in. Sometimes, when you're the last one to get going, you feel like you might be behind. You might miss out on some opportunities, but that collaboration Kwesi was just talking about has been real. It's really exciting when you look down the hall and you see, someone from our scouting department high-fiving one of my coaches, and guys from both departments are really, really excited about the fact that we made our team better. And I really, truly do feel with these two guys that we've done that. Starting out with Jordan, that's real about playing against him. It goes back even further than the last 3 years, with him being in Arizona. Incredibly productive in his time there, but also in Philadelphia before that as well. People don't talk enough about consistent production and consistent production from leadership on your team. And we've got great leadership here. It's one of the main reasons why I was so excited about this job amongst our team on the defensive side. But when you can add a guy like Jordan Hicks, who it took him 1 year in Arizona to not only after having 100 tackles his first year, there 100 plus, was a captain the next 2 seasons. It tells you all you need to know about what it's like in an NFL locker room when a new guy can come in and immediately put his stamp not only on the team but the whole organization. Just looking at last year alone, there was 2 linebackers in the NFL with 100 plus tackles and 4 interceptions. Those 2 guys will be playing linebacker for our team now with Eric Kendricks and obviously Jordan Hicks. You spend 5 minutes with him. It really goes for both these guys when you think about it. You spend 5 minutes with them, which I got to do when they first flew in last night, grabbing dinner with them, and they both have that infectious leadership style, but just personalities. You want to be around these guys. You want to, if they're in the locker room and I'm a player, I want to connect with these guys, and that's what we're hoping for. But then when we go out on the grass, you immediately see why these guys are going to be here, and he definitely, Jordan carries all those things that we're looking for, and then some as part of our linebacking core and as part of the leadership of our defense. Harrison, obviously, is a guy that it's a little bit harder sometimes to see the impact for fans and people out there of those guys that live in the trenches. As a former quarterback, I always look at those guys of how much do I look over there and see a guy that disrupts the game. You turn on the tape and you see this guy impacting the run game, impacting the pass game. He's versatile, the strength, his ability, play strength. Obviously, he looks the part. He looks like a really strong guy, but then you see him transition that, and it shows up play after play on tape. And like I said, he's got that same personality where I think the energy and that defensive group all together, got better for a lot of reasons. And then I would remind people of the fact that he's the last 2 years, as far as being the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Buffalo Bills, as a somewhat younger player still, on a roster with a lot of great people, having a lot of great impact, I'm sure, in that Buffalo community. But it means something to him, and it means something to Jordan as well, I know, to connect with our community like it did for me when I stood up in front of you guys a few weeks back. And that's something that means a lot to me as well. Somebody that can be recognized back-to-back years for the work they do in the community, impacting their local community in a way that makes Minneapolis better. It makes our whole fan base excited to have guys like this that are willing to do that, willing to, I know I use this word a lot, but willing to not only connect within the building, but out in the community is just huge. He's a former team captain at Stanford, so anytime you're introducing 2 guys that have had that C on their chest in some capacity, you feel like you're making your team better. I know our staff upstairs feels the same way.